Are you assimilating?
Yeah.
Is that to be a bit more comfortable blending in?
No, you didn't see my hairstyle before I had braids. Um, Growing up in Germany, these things like relaxers and all that was never available. And it wasn't something that was promoted. Maybe it was, but my father, my mom, they never promoted that. So I've had a weave twice in my life. Once it lasted for maybe an hour till my mom saw me, took a big pair of scissors and cut it off. And the other day I had one for like 2 weeks when I visited my mom. She did.
Our conversation started off on a lighter note about braiding her hair while in Windhoek. But despite her light-hearted and bountiful laughter, Mallence Bart Williams holds strong views on a number of issues. But more on that a little later. First of all, who is Mallence Bart Williams?
Get up in the morning, it's like that. And they didn't have time to do the long braids now because I had to meet you.
Thank you.
My lens is my lens. It's difficult to put me in a box, I would say. I'm an extremely versatile person. Already my heritage is so vast. It's European, it's African, it's a little bit of Asian. I've lived around the globe, studied around the globe, I've worked around the globe, and a global villager is probably what applies best to me.
Forever and always, we know who we are. The blood in my veins came from afar. What will you do when I'm walking? What if I'm done with the talking? What will you do? What will you do?
A globetrotter, as they say on the net. Because you've been to Singapore, Asia, I mean, everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask, where have you not been?
The world is vast, so many places I've not visited.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are here now in Namibia. What brings you here?
It's a conference that the University of Namibia is hosting, and we are intending to create a dialogue about a lot of issues that concern Namibia in this day and age.
And what are those issues in your view?
They might differ on the perspective of the individual people that partake. Their take is from poverty to prosperity. However, my individual perspective is poverty is not present. Namibia is not a poor country. So I would say, how do we redefine prosperity? Me personally, I ignore the poverty aspect.
Why?
Why? Because it's not true. Namibia is not poor. Namibia has been looted. Namibia has been robbed. Namibia has been colonized. Namibia has lived under apartheid.
As a German of African origin, the conversation invariably drifts towards genocide and talks about reparations, with an apology from Germany forthcoming. But Mallence says she's ashamed by her ancestors and what they committed, referring to them as unthinkable atrocities.
I feel even more ashamed that with a great chancellor like Mrs. Merkel, we as Germans are not in the position to take a stand as we've done with dealing with the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust. And that is what puzzles me more, because what happened is one thing, but what we make of our history, that is what really defines us, and presently, the ignorance and the passiveness of Germany, it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
But Namibia and Germany enjoys a special relationship from independence. I mean, immediately after independence, or even before independence, the Bundestag adopted a resolution saying that Namibia is a special place in German relations because of the history. What do you make of that?
I would like to ask you, what do you make of that? If your special friend, because you like to perceive the Germans as friendly and we have this special relationship, we're friends. Your special friend is not in the position to apologize, recognize, take responsibility for their mistakes. Do you really consider that a friendship? Is that rooted in respect and honor?
Mallence also held a TEDx talk where she made some forthright statements about how Western countries exploited resources of Africa to develop.
Former French President Jacques Chirac stated in an interview recently that we have to be honest and acknowledge that a big part of the money in our banks comes precisely from the exploitation of the African continent. In 2008, he stated that without Africa, France will slide down in the rank of a third world power. This is what happens in the human world, the world we have created. Have you ever wondered how things work in nature? One would assume that in evolution the fittest survives. However, in nature, any species that is overhunting, overexploiting the resources they depend on as nourishment, natural selection would sooner or later take the predator out because it offsets the balance.
You have to understand that so-called developed countries would not be where they were if it wasn't for free labor, free resources, and so on, so on, so on, that they took from countries like Namibia, and many others across the world. So we can't just refer to a first world and a third world. We can't refer to a world or countries that have previously been colonized, and we can refer to countries that have colonized and made use of free resources and free labor, and that's why they're ahead of others. And that's the very least they can do, is give a little. But I feel that's not enough.
What do you say should be done?
What should be done?
How should Germany make up for this?
Germany should deal according to their own laws. And according to their own laws, they define people that commit such atrocities as terrorists. In Germany, we prosecute them. If you come to Germany and you come by means of force and violence and murder, you're immediately prosecuted. If you come to Germany as a refugee, as an immigrant, without a visa, you're illegal. Your status is illegal. You cannot just run into the government, kill our president, take over, impose your laws, and issue yourself own passports and become a citizen. That just doesn't work anywhere in the world. And what I find puzzling is that the West takes a moral high ground. They impose laws that everybody has to abide by. However, they fail to abide by their own laws when it comes to territories outside of their own borders, and this is actually not very logical.
But the developed world has always made the rules.
That's fine, let them make the rules, but then let's all abide by these rules. A terrorist is a terrorist by definition. An illegal immigrant is an illegal immigrant by definition, not by color or religion. Not because you come from Syria makes you an illegal immigrant. Then if we just can come to places and assume citizenship, then fine, If I can go to China at gunpoint, get my passport, if it works like that, then let's establish those laws and live by them. But if that is considered illegal by the laws that we all came to live by, because these laws were created in Europe, America based their jurisdictory system on European law. Part of the laws that you have here are based on these laws, but the people that have formed these laws, they should also live by these laws. Otherwise it's not the rest of the world that looks stupid, it's them that look stupid.
But under that veneer, the impression one gets is that there is a soft heart. This is evidenced by a creative collective she formed with 21 street kids that were orphaned and displaced by the Sierra Leonean civil war. They were growing up as outlaws of society.
I name Timothy, but my gangster name na Ephraim.
My name is Patrick Istenkago. My name is
My name is Samusi.
On va studio les comédiens, mec, les comédiens.
None shall escape the visions that I see. No soul saved. Best believe.
I lost my mother and father during the Civil War in Sierra Leone. I was brought up by my grandmother in the village.
At the age of 5 years of age. Yeah. So this time my had to treat me. Even put poison for me. And I chop for it.
In Jesus' name I pray, amen. This is not my story, not my life.
I was the man who formed on base. Yes, I was the first man who begin local on base. Stay other guys, the Kaisai on base. And on base is it now. The team, all man, fearful of the team.
The visions that I see.
You get the hard way, you get the soft way. The soft way na for good thief. The hard way na for good tooth, not of God. The tooth for people or it will dirty for people.
If you're not strong on the streets, you go die before time. Or either you come out bad before time.
2001 when I come on the streets, I did do them bad, they thief, they job phone, I do them bad life. Till 2010, I can shoot Mallence.
From the street, he take me to school, he go put me in school. I dey live fine now. Then me own thing what I want to do in the future. I want to study law. I get that determination they always. So I want to become a lawyer. Me future than the.
Best believe. My breath must break.
My future plan, see what I able to do for help me own family. Because I don't decide say I want to go to school for be international businessman.
So me some of me company the way they live their wayward life there. I wish them back would change like me. For let them go they left them style here. And then they imagine say all the rough style here not fine for mortal man. Mortal man are more possible for the reason and wish for better future in this world.
Always compelled to do something for my country. And as I say, my country, Sierra Leone is as much my home as Germany is. My mother is German, my father is Sierra Leonean, and then I have some Asian roots also. Since the war had ended, and initially I was thinking along the conventional lines of raising funds or probably even associating with an organization and so on, and then I realized, okay, these are all no options, and I was confronted with harsh realities when coming to that area. You know, I was coming to that area because I also worked as a stylist and creative director for music videos and so on in Germany. I was making an outfit for my brother who's a musician, and I saw them from a bird's eye perspective under this bridge, and I always wondered what must have happened for you to have ended up here, and that was a question nobody could answer. All people did was warn me, and I saw them. This so-called gang leader was sometimes on above, you know, on top of this bridge, and I would say hi. I wouldn't even know that he was from down there. And then I asked him at one point, you know, and we went to the beach, and they told me their stories, and then they took me down there and I saw and I realized I don't have time to raise money, build a school, this or that. These guys do not know what to eat today, you know? And then it gradually evolved and I realized, okay, what can I do? Or I thought, what can I do with what I have? Let's not focus on what I don't have. I don't have these millions or whatever that I thought I needed to realize what I was envisioning. And then because of the initiatives I took, I also caused problems for them. So I had to take responsibility because they were regularly being attacked by police in violent manner because through the initiatives and the fashion, the sneakers, whatever we created, I urged them to, everybody had to open their bank accounts. They received a monthly allowance, you know, so they were able to feed themselves, stay away from crime basically, and pay for a teacher, you know, to just learn the basics of reading and writing. They were still living in the streets at the time. And because the police kept harassing them at the first of every month because they knew they would receive their money and beat them up and so on. So I knew they would never get an apartment in Syria and I had to take them into my house. And that was another journey that began, and it was a beautiful exchange, full of challenges, of course. Eventually I was kicked out of my apartment, but it was worth it, you know?
It was worth it if you look at what they have achieved. Some of them, I mean, all of them, I think, have never had school.
Not before, yeah.
Yeah, and they are now, some of them have graduated.
Yes.
As you were saying in your talk, that the stuff they are doing, the sneakers they are producing, the designs they are doing, are being worn by icons, fashion icons around the world.
Yeah.
So what you have achieved is quite remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think if you have a vision, if you believe, and you don't listen to naysayers, then yeah, you'll accomplish what you want.
I think you are being too modest about that, Mallence.
In my case, it works like that, yeah.
But
I'm not saying that it was just 100% success stories. Some of them, I mean, you always want the very best for all of your, okay, children is not the right term because we were like, no, they were much younger than me, yeah, but I would more say like brothers, you know, but I had a little bit of a motherly role there. And some will go the extra mile and some just won't, you know, they just won't have the discipline. But this project was never intended to last forever. It was intended to get them out of this miserable situation of having to steal, having to kill a cat or a rat just to have your next meal, you know, or to beg or whatever. And in that sense, it's been 100% success, you know, because they've all come out of this gutter. And some, yeah, they're in great jobs, you know, filmmakers and international firms and this and that, but some have not accomplished as much as they could have, you know? And, but they're all on their own now. And so my focus is now on very young children.
And that is where the issue of not charity but charity comes from. Could you explain that?
Yeah, charity for me, I feel charity, CH, in the classical sense is very condescending, you know, and considering that I'm coming to Africa, how dare I? It's almost going to, I don't know, Queen Victoria and saying, hey, here's a loaf of bread. Have you eaten today? You know, I feel it's very insulting to come and bring charity here. And generally, which benefit does it have? I'm not the kind of, I don't believe in parenthood that just gives and gives and gives and gives to their children. I feel everything needs to be accomplished. That is what you truly own, you know? So I always believe in an exchange. I believe in these guys, they own this experience that we had together for this 4 years. Nobody will ever be able to take that from them. What they make out of that, that's up to each individual, you know? But if I now would have given them this, given them that, given them this, given them that, as it comes, this is the way things go away again, you know? So I wasn't raised like that, you know? I had to work for everything, kind of, you know? I mean, my parents, they gave me everything I needed, but I started to earn money from a very early age, 8 or 9 years, as a matter of fact. And my father always promoted I had to excel in school, be the best of my class or whatever, in order to be awarded with whatever I wanted, you know? And I believe in that. It has worked for me. It has helped me to excel in life, and I would like to pass that on. And the concept of charity, in terms of sharing, is based on the proposition that we meet on eye level with mutual respect, and I receive from you whilst I give to you, and you receive from me whilst you give to me. And they have like given me also so much, like living together, the experiences, also having a glimpse into another person's life, you know. I feel only when you give, you understand how rich you are, and the wealth that gives to you is immeasurable. So what this has given to me is immeasurable.
She leaves us with her last thoughts.
Last words is be proud of yourself. Truly proud of your heritage, you know, be proud of who you are. Like the blood that runs in your veins, it came from very, very far. Be proud of that, you know, and don't belittle yourself, because what you mentioned before, it's time to move away from a cultural village. Something intrigued me about the way you said it, you know. I don't know if it's just my perception or how you meant it, but I feel it's very important for us to be proud of ourselves.
But for good measure, we bring back her abundant love.